Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio NBA Closing Time Show, Monday, May 10th. Ian Cameron, Conor, Max, Skee, Profit here, ready to break down the Monday NBA card. A little bit of a lighter slate for a change on this Monday. Let's get right down to business here. We've got the Washington Wizards taking on the Atlanta Hawks. We've got Atlanta 8-point home favorites here. Total 237 and a half in this game. As far as the number going up on Atlanta, it's related to the injury and the absence to Bradley Beal. He is going to miss not only this game, but the next game as well for the Washington Wizards. So that's definitely going to hurt their cause a little bit. I don't know if it's going to hurt their cause enough, though, to the point where they're going to lose this game by damn near double digits. I'm not so sure about that. Atlanta coming into this game, they've gotten themselves a lot healthier in recent games. Hunter and Reddish are the only two that are still out and not available. Tony Snell's a game-time decision. Obviously, you've seen a bump in the number without Beal. You know what the NBA theory sometimes is for me. Without the key player, the star player, arguably the best player for that, especially that first game, the rest of the team rallies the troops and everybody does a little bit more. And look, for Washington, there's still plenty at stake trying to nail down their participation in the play-in round of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. So I still like Washington here, getting 8 points in this one. As far as the totals go, as I pretty much only look over or pass when it comes to Washington games. I feel that same way here. Conor, what's your thoughts here? Washington versus Atlanta.
Yeah, should be an interesting one. I'm with you here a little bit. The tough thing is the Hawks have been so good and so dominant at home. Just looking back here at the last couple of weeks, when they're at home, they seem to win by double digits. That's why I think the number's so big with Beal being out. And they're so good at home, and everything on the road, just losers. They have, they've just lost on the road, come back home, seem to be able to win. The Wizards have been so hot, though. I still got to lean with the 8 points. I think it's a little bit too many. I don't know if I'm going to get to the window. I haven't decided yet, but I'm a little siding with you a bit here. I think 8's just too many. I lean the Wizards +8 in this one, and I'm with you. No under for me. If I were to play a total here, it'd be over.
Yeah, there's just so many of these teams. I mean, it's just they go over the total so much, it's hard to go against that. And Washington's one of those teams, although this could be the night with no Bradley Beal. We'll have to wait and see. Skee, Profit, what do you think here? Washington, Atlanta.
Yeah, I probably would lean towards Washington just because, one, they need to still win games, and two, it's supposed to be a historic night for Westbrook. So I think they're going to give effort for the entire game. So, and thirdly, I don't think Atlanta should be expected to win by double digits. So that lands me on Washington. I do think I would go with the under, though, just because you're missing a lot of points without Bradley Beal. 4 of the last 5 without him all went under. And the Hawks, they've just been shooting too well lately. At some point, I think they're going to regress. So slight lean. If it wasn't a potential historic night for Westbrook, I'd probably jump on it. But lean under, and I like Washington.
All right, lean under, liking Washington as well for Skee in this one. Next up, Indiana, Cleveland. Indiana bet up to 9 on the road, 9-point road favorites, 228.5 the total in this game. Has Indiana righted the ship? I'm not so sure, but we've seen them at least show a little bit of a better result, a better performance on the court the last couple of games. Things were really starting to spiral out of control a little bit for Indiana, but they beat Atlanta last week, and then they took a very surging Washington team to overtime, lost 133-132. How about that brutal foul committed right at the buzzer? Giving Washington the chance to sink the game-winning free throws in overtime. Brutal loss for the Pacers, but it's at least a step in the right direction for a team that was really starting to fall apart, that they should have probably won the last 2 games, but they were much more competitive, did play better. But now, are you ready to lay 9 on the road with the Pacers here? No way am I ready to. I'll tell you that right now. This is still a team that could be without Malcolm Brogdon again tonight. Miles Turner remains out as well. Of course, on the Cleveland side, you could say it's probably a little bit of a leap of faith to trust them as well. They got absolutely annihilated in back-to-back games against the Dallas Mavericks. There has not been a win or a point spread cover since early April for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. I can't get there with either side. Just can't do it. So it's a pass for me. Conor, what do you think here, Indiana, Cleveland?
This is tough. And the Cavs, like you said, 10 in a row against the spread and 15 out of 16. I can't back them. even at double-digit dogs, and that's just crazy to say that I'd be on the Pacers here at pass, and they still have Brogdon and Lamb or game time decisions. We'll see if they play. They continually get beat by like 15 or more, even at home. It's just been tough. They're so banged up to back the Cavs. I'm not going to play this one, but I lean with the Pacers here, -9.
All right, lean with the Pacers, -9. It's the lesser of two evils type of game, in my opinion. What do you think, the Pacers Cavs?
Yeah, I'll just go to the total. And Cavaliers haven't really been playing any defense at all. Pacers, they're not good defensively.
Yeah,
and all they do is play up tempo. So I would like the over, probably more so in the first half, just in case it's a blowout. And that's the only way I'm looking in this game. Points, first half or full game.
I would not disagree there. Indiana, you look at their results. What are they now? 7-1 to the over in their last 8 games. Cleveland's gone over now in a bunch of their recent games as well. In their recent results, 4 of their last 5 have gone over. I was on the over with Dallas and Cleveland last night. That's probably worth a bet here as well, over the total with Pacers and Cavs. New Orleans and Memphis. Here's another game that's seen an over push in terms of the line move, 225.5 up to 229.5 with this total. And now Memphis laying 9.5 points here at home against the New Orleans Pelicans. Tricky spot here overall when you look at it. 2 very erratic teams. You got one 6 games below 500 and the other trying to gain traction. Do we give Memphis a ton of credit for beating a down-and-out Toronto Raptors team that was pretty much done after losing to Washington the game before that? Pretty much knocked them out. Memphis took advantage of a Raptors team that was basically running on fumes, beat them by 10. We'll see if they can carry it over here against the Pelicans. Pelicans with a nice win last night, back-to-back situation for them after beating Charlotte 112 to 110 last night. This has been a maddening team, though. They have gone on a bit of a point spread run, though, as of late, New Orleans. They've started to cover some numbers. A lot of them have been as underdogs. They covered against Philly, nearly won that game outright. They took Denver down to the wire, and they enter this game actually on a 7-1 ATS run. This Pelicans team, can they keep it going here on back-to-backs this season? The New Orleans Pelicans, in terms of their results, 6-7 straight up, 7-6 against the spread, but only outscored by 1.2 points per game on the second night of back-to-back. So this would be a spot I'd take the points or pass. I don't want to lay this many with Memphis. So for me, it's a lean New Orleans, a lean over the total. What do you think, Conor? New Orleans and Memphis?
The last. I'm with you. The Grizzlies, not maybe if you at this at home.
Conor, I think your connection's a little wonky here. It sounded like your connection's fading in and out. Yeah, it was just fading in and out there for a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I could see. I could tell. When you have the little robot voice going, that's what I was hearing. I think probably people in the chat, I'm sure you're hearing the same thing. So we'll see if we can get a connection reestablished, a link reestablished here with Conor. We'll bring him back in just a second. Skee, what do you think here about this one, New Orleans and Memphis?
Yeah, I thought it was me because I'm not at home. I thought maybe my thing was messing up. But I like the Pelican side. They've been playing well lately. They've covered 3 in a row without Zion or Ingram. They're 1.5 games out of the play-in spot. And I just don't think Memphis is that good, or they're not playing that good right now for me to want them to win by double digits. So it'll be a Pelicans +9 for me if I'm betting this one.
All right, liking the Pelicans plus the points. All right, Conor, you're back with us. What do you think here, Pels and Grizz?
Yeah, the internet, I don't know, it's goofing up there. Yeah, Skee just kind of said what I was saying, how scrappy the Pelicans have been the last few games without Zion and Ingram. And I don't want the Grizzlies not to win by 10 at home. Just no way. They have not looked good. I know they beat the Raptors by 10, but losing to the Pistons and barely beating the Magic, there's just no way I can lay it with them. They just don't look like they're in good form. Give me the dog, almost 10 points here with the Pelicans, or pass.
I can't remember when it was. I think it was last week, but Charles Barkley was just absolutely all over the Pelicans for disappointing season. This should be a team that I thought would get in the play-in at least, and now they're up against it trying to get into that. And just saying they've been very disappointing with all the talent they've got. And but they are giving it one last desperate push, I guess you could say, here in the final few games of the season, and they are playing better. They are covering numbers. So you're right. It would be New Orleans for me or nothing in this game from a side perspective. Milwaukee against San Antonio. Milwaukee Bucks 7-point road favorites here, 233.5 the total in this game. We'll see who, again, you always got to make sure you check from a Milwaukee standpoint. Their lineup can sometimes fluctuate one game to the next. So make sure you keep your eye on that. We've got San Antonio's definitely been a hodgepodge is what I like to call it, because they've been all over the place, this team. They beat Sacramento, cover that game, 113-104. Then they get trounced by Portland. They get trounced by Utah twice. They nearly beat Philadelphia in overtime. They nearly beat Boston in overtime. So it's just a very erratic, schizophrenic bunch right now, this San Antonio team. Very difficult to trust them. The Bucks have won 5 in a row, but the last 2 they haven't covered. They're laying a decent number here on the road. It's not necessarily a situation where, when you look at this Milwaukee team, their positioning is pretty much assured right now. Not a strong opinion either way, sidewise here in this one. Connor, have you got anything more than I do here with the Bucks and the Spurs?
I'll be quick. The Bucks are healthy. They've played a bit better lately, but I just still on the road laying this kind of number. We talk about 7 to 10. I've never been big laying it with the Bucks. On the other hand, I'd like to lean the Spurs, but they have really screwed me lately. I took them a few times. Blazers and one of the Jazz games, they couldn't get it done. And in between that, they covered against the Kings. But for me here, I'd be on the Spurs or nothing if I were to bet this one.
All right, so just a lean to the Spurs for Connor in this one, if he were to get involved in it. Yeah, it looks like both teams should have pretty healthy lineups, full complement tonight.
Yeah.
DeRozan, Murray, those have been the guys in and out. They're playing for San Antonio, and it looks like we should have Holiday, DiVincenzo, Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez, starting 5 for Milwaukee. Skee, what do you like here?
I like the Spurs, and I like the Spurs because I just feel like this is a spot where you're going to get the best game that they can possibly play, because they can't afford to bring anything less. In Milwaukee, all they got to do is really win. They play again tomorrow. I mean, they don't have too much to play for. They're still battling for the 2 seed. I guess you could say that if they really want home court advantage, which they probably do. But I just think it's a real motivation spot for the Spurs, and I would be taking them plus the points in this one.
All right, lean into San Antonio here in this one. Utah against Golden State. Utah 2-point road favorites here at New Oracle in San Francisco. The total 225.5 here in this one. Golden State, kind of lean Golden State here a little bit in this game against Utah. I think they got a decent shot here. They're off back. Obviously, it's not saying much. You're just absolutely blowing the doors off the lowly beaten down Oklahoma City Thunder, but still they won and covered with ease in that game. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and the competition hasn't been the greatest. I get it. But I think they got a chance here to get the job done. Utah is in one of those positions where they've obviously had a much tougher time in terms of covering numbers as of late. You look at Utah's recent results up and down, of course, still without. You look at Mitchell and Conley. Look, you got backcourt issues in terms of these key injuries, and now you got to match yourself up tonight against the one and only Steph Curry. You know what that could be in terms of a problem matchup here for the Utah Jazz in this game. And again, when Curry can go off, and I think he could in this game, the game probably can go over the total as well. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the home dog Warriors here, +2, +2.5. Maybe a look over 225.5 as well. C-Mac, what do you think here with the Jazz and the Warriors?
I like Golden State here as a little bit of home dog. I just can't trust the Jazz on the road. 5-11 the last 16. And I like the over here a little bit as well. When these two get together, they seem to score a ton of points. I was looking up this morning, and the last 6 have gone over, and I think it's a little bit of a bargain here, 225. I don't know too much. The Jazz have gone under a bit lately, but give me the couple with, if Curry's there and he's hot, he's been playing unreal, give me him as the home dog with a couple points. I think they probably win it outright, and I'm leaning over here in this ballgame, 225.
Yeah, the Warriors have gone over the total 2 of their last 3. The Jazz have gone over in 3 straight.
Oh, they have. Okay.
126-94 with San Antonio, 127-120 with Denver. That game got to 247, and then 240 points over the weekend against Houston. So soared over a total in this range with ease. So I think this game is also high scoring, and I like Golden State. I think they could win outright as well. Skee, what do you think here? Utah, Golden State.
I think the Jazz are tired. They play slow anyway. Both teams, despite, everything I said, they're top 10 defensive rated teams over the last 5 games, with Golden State being number 1. And they're both top 10 over the last 10 games defending the perimeter. So I like where the total is going. I like the under in this one. And the only way I would play it would be a bet on Golden State, the team who hasn't been looking like they're tired. It could be because of who they've been playing, but they're better at home. Utah's not good on the road. So it'll be Golden State, and it'll be under for me.
All right, Golden State and under the total here for Skee. And yeah, so you're saying Houston and can't tire out Golden State? Wow, I can't believe that. Next up, we've got Portland taking on Houston. Final game on this Monday card. We've got obviously the Blazers, as you would expect, big time double-digit chalk here in this one against the Rockets. The total in this one sitting at around 238 in this game. The Rockets have basically, at least in terms of playing any sort of defense, they've waved the white flag. 4 straight overs for Houston. They've given up 122 to the Knicks, who play slow. Keep that in mind. And then, of course, Philly, Milwaukee, and Utah, 135. The Sixers shoot over 50%. Milwaukee gets 141 against them. They shoot way over 50%. And Utah shoots 45 of 85. That so-called tired Utah team. And Utah shoots over 50. Like, there's no defense right now for the Houston Rockets. None whatsoever. That's trouble now with what Portland can do with now all of their, all hands on deck essentially for the Blazers. They've got their backcourt intact, Lillard and McCollum. Norman Powell's given them a boost at the offensive end since they traded for him from the Raptors. I know Carmelo's out for the Blazers for the foreseeable future, but they've still got enough offense, more than enough, to just absolutely punish this terrible Houston team, which isn't even, I think, really giving it much at all, if you ask me, on the defensive end. Of course, their starting five's patchwork. Augustine Jeffries, Jayshawn Tate, Kelly Olynyk, and Christian Wood is what you're looking at, although Olynyk and Wood are game-time decisions. Neither one a sure thing to suit up. This could be a Portland Rolls type of spot, but I don't know if I really want to lay this many here against the Houston Rockets for as bad as things have gone. And look, they have covered their last 2, even though their defense has been in shambles. Lost by 8 at Milwaukee, lost by 8 at Utah, and they did score. So I think I would prefer the over here than looking at either side. That's the way I would probably look to bet this game, is over the 238 more than either side. Conor, what do you think here? Rockets, Blazers?
Yeah, the over could get there. Another thing that I've done for the last month is even full games that went under was Rocket first half overs. I lean that way a little bit as well. Yep. And I lean the Blazers first half. Take the first half, 7.5 -8. Maybe you get, I think this is the end of the year. Rockets have kind of just let it go, and especially on the defensive end, like you talked about. But they've covered kind of backdoor in these last few games. They've hung around. I'd be leery at laying 15 with the Blazers. I just see them winning by 13 or 12. So I wouldn't go full game. I'd look towards a first half over, which I love with the Rockets, and maybe a first half here, lay the points with the Blazers, but I wouldn't go full game.
Yeah, I wish you well with that. That makes sense to me. I remember I took Milwaukee first quarter, first half last week against Houston, and they really never woke up in that game. In fact, they didn't cover either of those. So that's why I'm hesitant on that with the Portland. It makes sense in theory when you talk it out. Conceptually, it makes a lot of sense, but you never know with Portland. Can they come out with that?
That's right.
Big pedal down to the metal type in the first 24 minutes. It's hit or miss with that sometimes. Again, defensively with Portland, it comes and goes as well. Skee, what do you think here, Houston, Portland?
Yeah, I don't love this game. I'm not going to take too much time, but I like what Conor said about the first half, and specific to the over, just because it could be a blowout and they could take their guys out and prepare for the next game. So over first half will be the bet for me in Houston and Portland.
Lots of crypto talk, DOGE coin, and what about this Shima? I'm hearing all kinds of these coins. I don't know. I'm just hearing that it's like a different coin every day. It's like the coin of the day. That's the hype coin of the day, cryptocurrency. I just hope you make money with it and not lose it all. That's all. All right, great stuff. Hopefully we don't help you lose money on this show, the NBA closing time. We'll get to best bets in just a second. Abbreviated show today with just a shorter card. We'll get to a best bets in just a second. Before we do that, though, 30-second advertisement, as we always do at this time of the show, from our sponsors at Manscaped right here, Pub Sports Radio. Promo code PubSports. Check them out, as well as mybookie.ag. Promo code PubSports. NHL, NBA, and Major League Baseball daily. We've still got UFC almost every week. There's fight cards as well. Bellator, you name it. All of that available. Mybookie.ag. Promo code PubSports. And Bitcoin accepted currency at mybookie.ag. You can use that as well with your deposit. Mybookie.ag. Promo code PubSports. Let's go with best bets for this Monday card. Connor, we'll start with you. What do you like for your NBA best bet?
I like 2 here. Golden State. But you know what? Give me the Wizards. It seems like everyone's on the Hawks. The money's coming their way. They're -8. Beal's out. I think Russ wants to play a hell of a game. They're in it here in the East. I think this game's close. So I just think it's too many. So give me the Wizards +8. I think they can stay in closer.
Yeah, the Wizards, like the Knicks, hot point spread teams for an extended period of time in the Eastern Conference. Connor liking them tonight. Washington +8 against Atlanta for his best bet. Skee Profit, what do you like best bet here?
For mine, I'll take the Spurs. I just think that they'll give maximum effort and make it a close game, if not get a win.
All right, San Antonio +7 against Milwaukee for his best bet on this Monday card. I'm going to go to Golden State. +2 against Utah. Again, a Golden State team that I think could take advantage of this Jazz team that's just, I think, running on fumes. It's a good point. That's what it looks like watching the Jazz on a nightly basis. Let's go with the Golden State Warriors +2 against Utah. That'll be my best bet for this Monday card, and that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Closing Time Show. We'll be back with you Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for the next edition of the show. For Skee Profit and Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll talk to you again Wednesday for the NBA Closing Time Show right here on Pub Sports Radio.